Yeah. Hey guys, you are here with Grandpa Coyote once again, coming to you from the Rocky Mountain High out here in Crestone, Colorado. Remote little place hidden away from everything and everybody. It's the end of the road and it's a great place to be. I'm glad you're here with me today enjoying the Rocky Mountain High. It's a beautiful thing to be doing. Yes, it is. Uh, want you to know I'm feeling y'all coming in, I feel you tuning in, and it's a beautiful thing. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to watch these videos, to listen to my radio show at night, and commune with me there on Facebook and other places. It is a very sweet, and it's becoming more of a universal movement. There's more people coming on board all the time, special folks, and we're moving into some really good times of change now. The rough stuff for the most part, I know it looks terrible out there, but the rough stuff for the most part is over. And we'll be putting that to rest as time goes by here. You'll be amazed at what happens. Tonight on the radio show, we're going to be talking about make love, not war. That old hippie theme, baby, with which we finally got Vietnam over with, but it took some time. But that'll be our theme tonight, and I'll just leave it to your imagination to figure out what that means. But if you read between the lines, it says peace on earth. That's what it says. And that's what we're working on. And even in you and me right now today, we're encouraging and inviting the spirit of love to come and help us find that peacefulness inside so that we can function more purely in this essential reality. Now listen, guys, if you want, there's a comment section there alongside the screen or down below it. I got to find it again, but it's here somewhere. There we are. Okay, yeah, it is. The energy stepped up today. It's part of the reason why I'm here live today, because 222, a significant date energetically, obviously, and I was feeling it really strongly just before I came on the air, and I'm still in it and growing in it. And it's beautiful. We're all in this together. It is a rockin' good time. We've already, believe it or not, turned the corner. We sneak it in on you in the middle of the night when most of you are sleeping. We get it done. So in the daylight, you feel the resulting effect. And then another night we go and do it. I'm on the radio, on Hazy Radio, 6 nights a week, 5 hours a night, starting at midnight Eastern time, which is, about 5 a.m. GMT, something like that. So just judge accordingly from there and tune in when you can. I'll still post some of my station breaks out here. I got, 3-4 hours worth of video to go through. I mean, there's a lot of rich material coming out of me at night there on the radio. It's blossoming time, guys. I'm coming back to life, and as I'm coming back to life, I'm helping you guys come back to life too. The energy flows through us in a uniform way. One person might be, the leader in this particular energy, and another in that, and another in that. It all adds up. And it all brings us to this place, where it's ascension inside, personal, very real, very there within you. Planetary ascension comes down to you as a person. You understand? Excuse me. A little bit of smoker hack there. Can't be helped, Got to keep myself in this reality somehow. Now shut your mouth. Hey, Okie, come here. You can't be doing that. You got to shut your little mouth. Because we're talking to folks all over the place right now. And, you got to be calm and quiet, buddy. And if you haven't met him before, this is Okie. Okie-Wan Kenobi, or Okie-Wan Kenobi, as I say. And he's an anxious little guy. He's my guardian protector. Or at least he thinks he is. And, he is in a way, man. But he's a real sweetheart. But he's a noisy butt sometimes. And I do apologize for his showing off, but he can't help it. He's a, what do you call it? A ham. You know, he likes to show off. You know what I mean? He likes to be noticed. It's partly due to his size, but the other part of it is he's just such a sweetheart. He needs to be noticed. You know, he is. He's just a rockin' good guy, aren't you, buddy? Yes, you are. Now he'll settle down on my lap and be quiet now for the duration. Hey, I'm glad to see you guys on. Let's see, we got Kelly, oh baby, and Rebecca, and Peggy, and John, and Kelly again. Babies, you guys just rock. You know, I can't love you enough and appreciate you for being here enough, you know. It's just awesome good times. And I know sometimes we feel like we that are sensitive, you know, we feel like we're spinning. You know, Oki says hi right back. We feel like we're spinning. You know, the energies inside can be quite expansive. You know, and you can get lightheadedness, you get little dizzy spells, you'll have moments where you feel like your feet can't touch the ground, where everything slows down to super slow motion and then speeds up, and you'll walk through little energy portals and energy gates. You'll see them coming. There'll be lights and colors around you. You may not know what it is, but it'll seem familiar. Just go there. If it's light, it's good. You know what I mean? Feel it out. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. But if it's just fear trying to hold you back, love the fear, kiss it on the lips, kiss it goodbye, and move on, you know? That's the secret to staying alive in this, I missed everybody, in this day and age, babies. That's the secret to staying alive. And growing and becoming your own self. Now at night, I will share with you even more significant energies. You'll feel the call when it's time. You know, when you need to be there, I'll be there for you. You know, when I say I, of course, I'm talking about me and a whole troop of angels and ancestors and star beings and just a whole collection of folks that we all work together in this, and plus the whole of humanity, you know, because that's where we're really talking from, and that's who we're really talking about and to and from, is the collective human heart, the one consciousness in all of us, you know. That's the beautiful thing that's coming forward now. So you can expect major ass changes in the way this world operates. You can expect major ass changes in your life. Of course. What else would it be? Couldn't go on this way much longer now, could it? Nope. So we're like in this place now where it's just, it's a beautiful, beautiful time to be alive, because we're moving into it. Little bit here, little bit there, huge leap there, huge leap there. Going to be a lot of major changes in the surface world as we move on towards April. I think this month, this one's just about over with. Only got another week, but the next couple of months going to be really, really interesting times. You know, that's what I call this YouTube channel, is a running commentary on what's happening now. So we address the different aspects and angles as they come in on us. And today, it's all about growth and expansion for those that are receiving of it. And those that don't quite feel connected with it yet, just know that expect change, you know, in yourself, primarily. No matter what you're doing, you don't have to be doing one bit of meditation, one bit of prayer, one bit of any kind of spiritual practice. Your spiritual practice could be going down to the bar and drinking 15 beers. I don't care. Whatever it is you're doing, it's the right thing for you to be doing right now, and you're going to get this, whether you like it or not. What happened here? It looks like, oh, there, that's back up. Okay, good. Let me double check my thingamabobble. Here, excuse me, Mr. Oki. He just loves to lay his head on my mouse pad. It makes it difficult me for mouse. Okay. Still working. Okay. Good. All right. Good. Got to make sure, you know, this live stuff is tricky business, babies, you know. Radio's a little bit easier, and it's a lot more fun because I can play music. Finally, after all these years, I'm trying to get a little rock and roll medicine show. A simple thing like that on the radio, a little enlightened rock and talk. You'd think they'd jump at it. Nuh-uh. It's taken this long to get it rocking, but now we got it rocking on the internet, and it won't be long before, the industry will open its door to us, because it has to. The people are ready. So this is what I'm telling you people. Most of the people that follow me on YouTube and so forth are forerunners of the energies, your gatekeepers, your openers. All of you are, in fact, And I want to see you all blossom and grow right along with me in this day, in this time of right now, So here we go, people. We'll unify our hearts. I know you're all willing. So we'll just unify our hearts, bring it all together inside of us. This feeling of energetic love that brings forward such great wealth inside. Now you're still going to feel a little push-pull inside. You know what I mean? There's still going to be a little bit of, oh, you got to do this. Oh, you got to do that. Oh, no. And that just kind of guides you to the center. So you go right to the center of yourself. You feel it mainly in your chest area. You'll feel your heart expanding there, but you'll feel the greater heart inside opening and becoming your center of consciousness. You'll notice there'll be energies that will almost seem like they're descending, but they're actually reconnecting with the heart, the great heart inside of every person that lives. And everybody has this, without exception. Anybody that's alive, you got the great heart. Because that's what we are. That's what creates us. That's who we are. That's what legitimizes us. Everything we do, is that great heart. Because that's where it all comes from. So as you expand in consciousness, as you let this feeling of expansion grow inside, as you let these voices just talk to one another and stay in the center of yourself, and don't get pulled in the push-pull, you'll find life more than improving. You'll find spectacular results. You will see paradise in your life in a very short time. It starts with the feeling. When you know you're at this place where there is peace forever for you, then you know you're there. And you're not too far from it. Now, no matter how much turmoil is going on in your life in the moment, it's just ready. It's just rocking. It's just real. It's what we are. It's what's happening now, babies. So like I say, it don't really matter what you do, what you believe. It doesn't really matter what faith you follow, if you have any at all. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you be ready inside for some cosmic consciousness. To be willing to see what's standing right there before you and has been for a long time, but you've been unwilling to see. You've kept the division up intentionally. You didn't want to know the spirit side of things. You'd lose your misery. And there'd be no suffering. And you come here to suffer. Come here, that's a part of it, man. Come here to see what it's like. Understand the aspects of suffering, the depths of pain, motivations in pains. Stuff like that. These are lessons we've come here to learn. This is, dog, you got to get away from my mouse. Doggone. I love these little guys. You got to be careful with them. He's pretty tame, though, really, compared to, like, old Angel, my last dog, before, him. Holy cow. She was more of a challenge than he ever dreamed of being, and I loved her silly. Her and I were like, that, man, He and I are that way now, too, boy. He's a good dog. So anyway, just hang in there. Just be open. Just be willing. Just, don't deny the signs when you see them. Sometimes these signs are fleeting. Sometimes they'll come to you and you like say you're looking at the sky and there's a flash from a star and then it's gone, but you feel a resonance. You feel some course correction going on inside. Don't deny this stuff. That's not imagination. That's real as all get out. And, it may have been an actual star doing that, or it may have been some of our friends. See, we live in this parallel universe. And the other parallel is where we go when we die. It's what we call spirit. But it's right here with us. Parallel means side by side. Like married. Only we're like in a blind marriage because we don't see the other side too much. Now some of us, because the veils are thinning, are getting where we see a lot more of it. And that's just beauty and truth coming back to life too. Don't be afraid of the things you start to see with your visual eyes. Don't be afraid when the reality before you, as solid as it seems, starts to shimmer and fade. You know, these are moments you want to be as loving as you can be, because these are the moments you're going through the gateways. You're gaining another step in consciousness. See, there's all these gateways along the way, is what I call them. They're just steps in consciousness. And every person gets there in their own time, in their own way, but everybody gets there at the same time. And we all cross the finish line in what I call a spectacular photo finish, in which no horse knows it's an eighth, a tenth, a hundredth of an inch ahead of another. We all cross this finish line in the same time, the same season, the same moment. And my feeling is it's going to be pretty soon now, believe it or not. Now, it may take a few years, but I don't think so. I think we're close enough now with the steps we're taking now that the quantum leap is about to happen. And I think in the next few months. That's my feeling on it right now today. Now, tomorrow if I come out and say something different, forgive me, but that's because I'm feeling different about it. But that's what I'm feeling right now, you know. No one really knows exactly when this thing's totally coming off. But what we do know is what we're gaining here and what we're finding inside. And the more we embrace that energy, the more we nurture that energy, the better it will be for all of us, because it automatically touches others as you encourage this feeling of warmth, this light, this little baby, innocent baby inside of you that's been hidden away for thousands of years, that we're finally letting out and letting it grow basically overnight, because it's just been a baby because that's what it had to be, to hide in there, you know. But we're letting it out fully and completely. And that's these feelings you're having, this expansion you're feeling, is the letting out of what I would call your true self. Somebody look at it as the higher self. But it's your true self. There is no higher self. There is no lower self. There is only self. This what sits inside of you. This what is you. This that is your sphere of influence, you see. That's who's there. Ain't no higher and lower. There ain't no division. You know, there ain't no levels really, even though we seem to be going through them. It's just a matter of how far down we've been. And so it's more like an expanding bubble. You know, we're like down on the bottom of the totem pole, you know, when we're in the dark ages here, and then we begin this expansion and it just flows out. 360 degrees every direction, but that's your consciousness. That's your ability to see and understand and live in the moment you're at. And it goes way beyond what we see as this three-dimensional world. You'll be living it in the state of deity, because that's what it is. We're all deities. We are the deity. We are the good guy. We are the bonus run for the universe. We're what's bringing the universe back to life. We got it out of a stagnant state by going through this earth experience in the way we have. Babies, when you start to really realize and understand what's gone on here and why we have suffered so tremendously and done such insane frickin' things, you're going to cheer your ass off. Your heart's going to melt. I know some of you are seeing it already, aspects of it. But when you see the bigger picture, when you know the great service that we as humanity, as spirits in humanity, have performed for the universe, and all of our cousins there, as we call them, we're related to everything and everybody. But anyway, there in the primordial pool of light, we're all joined. Come on, babies, you know, just because it forms this, we formed you this way and me that way and so on. We're the same life, baby, living in very personal forms, and we love this stuff, and we're going to keep it going. But we're going to be conscious of the fullness of the collective in us as well. It's a beautiful thing that we could not have designed a paradise any better for ourselves if we'd have tried. And this is what we're stepping into. So when you see this stuff going on in the world around you that indicates things are really getting ugly, do what you have to do as far as like resistance, if you must protest, But generally speaking, that's not necessary. If you gather in little groups or just do it yourself, however it works for you, project good energies to these problem areas, and they will heal instantly. Tonight, we'll do some of that on the radio. Maybe we'll do that here on YouTube one of these days. We'll just put out a video that collects everybody's energy and focuses it on one particular facet of this reality, just to show you how powerful one person can be, let alone the many gathered. When the heart is amplified by the gathering of itself together in the personal forms that it naturally contains itself in, when all of us start to get together, there's a nucleus, there's an atom, and there's a nucleus, and all of that, just like there is in all the creation we see around us, It's a little different form of it, because it's what you call spiritual, but it's really just life. What we've been living is more like what's really spiritual, which means it's kind of a hazy world, which means it's kind of like not really here. It's experience that we're gaining here. It's education, the real kind, not the kind you go and stuff your head in some book and learn a few facts and figures. No way. That's not education. That's brainwashing. Big difference. Education is when through experience you learn how more fully to love and appreciate your circumstances, whatever they be. Education is knowing that love is very real and seeing your creative power in it and employing that creative power in every situation. You'll never have to worry about a thing again, babies. Just keep moving in this direction as it comes to you. Don't stand in the way. Don't let your fear overwhelm you. Make the connections that come to you. If they come from the sky, great. If they come from human beings, even better. If they come from animals or trees, so much the better. Just do it. Go where it leads you. Realize you have great limitations that you've imposed upon yourself. Move beyond them when the timing's right, when you feel motivated to move this direction, that direction, that direction. I mean, in a good sort of way. And you know the feeling of it when it comes from your heart. You just do it. You just follow it. And notice what happens when you resist, when you don't follow it. See? We learn in many different ways, and there's no right way for anybody or anything. We just do it. We go through it. And that becomes your right way because that's the way we did it. You see? As you learn to see in this way, to think in this way, a little higher form of consciousness, you find complete and total forgiveness for everything because you understand it from a completely different angle than you ever did before. It all makes perfect sense, and therefore you can let go of it. That's when paradise arrives. That's planetary ascension. It's a very personal thing. But I'm telling you, babies, I know as unbelievable as it sounds, we're all going to get there in the same moment in time. Because we are the same life living in all of these billions and billions of people we see around us. We're the same life. It's unbelievable, I know. And sometimes I wonder about some of my fellow cousins out there. Oh, my goodness. But we just go with it, babies. Just be, and make no judgments on anything or anybody out. You never know what's harboring in that life and why it's chosen to live that way in this particular moment in time. But there's some seasoning and ripening going on at the very least. There's somebody's soul learning some really valuable lessons, getting some deep, deep, deep appreciation going on, no matter what the life is. From president on down to garbage man and back up again. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. We're all in the same boat together. I keep repeating that again and again and again, hoping that one day we'll all catch on, self included. Because sometimes you can feel pretty damn personalized, and sometimes you can get real defensive and protective. Sometimes it feels necessary. But try this. Instead of doing that, you see this stuff coming. You know what's going to happen. So instead of just letting it happen, put some energy towards that flow. See which way it really wants to go. Maybe it'll change. You don't just have to fall down and take life. You know, you can learn that you're living from the creative resources, and this will get you there. Wow, guys, I appreciate all your kind comments. I'm just looking at them now. Chirp, chirp, you betcha. So, babies, just keep it going. Just know we're coming back to life. Feel it. Let's just, we do this. Just form a little circle right now. And we've already gathered our hearts together, so let's just form a little circle. And just be, whoever listens to this tape later, it'll work for you too, everybody. Just join in this little circle. Join your hearts hand in hand. And let's just project the energy of love all across this great land and ocean and skies. And just reach out legitimately and love everything and everybody and help them forgive themselves and move on. You know what I mean? That's all that's necessary here. Most of the misbehaviors in this world come from some form of guilt or shame. A lot of times it's programmed into you by some really dastardly bastards, and they'll make you behave in certain ways. But know that if you're one of those that's been programmed and invaded, that it wears off, especially now, because the energies just won't allow it to remain that way. You've never really been invaded, you've just been fooled. But there has been some real, what we would call mental manipulation going on here, and spiritual too. But it's a whole lot better now than it ever was before. And they're finding their systems of control, those that do this, they're finding their systems of control failing. Because the consciousness has changed to such an extent already in every human person that such practices are no longer usable. They don't work. They're gone. You know, you can't just program the little machine anymore and expect them to go commit your murder and mayhem. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way anymore. We're coming back to life. That means consciousness. That means we can't be lied to much longer, if at all. You know, you'll see right through any lie. You may not want to see through it, so it might take you a little time because you're so used to believing in those lies, you know. And so it might take a little time to get used to live in truth. It might take a little time to let go of the lies because some of them are pretty precious to us, you know. Especially if they're involved in relationship areas, man. You know, we tell ourselves a lot of lies to keep ourselves going in those. And most often, it's not the greatest thing we could be doing for ourselves, but it's the right thing, you know? You be quiet, buddy. You just hang out. Get over there on the bed and hang out for a minute. Be cool. But anyway, that's my message for today. We're joined in this circle. There is life expanding inside of you, no matter who you are on this earth or where you're at. It's coming through you. It's part of you. You're a part of this too. Some of you, this is going to be difficult and tricky because you've been completely bamboozled, and this is going to tear your world apart. There is not going to be a shred of it left. Love yourself enough to allow it to be. And just go through it calmly. Just do it because you know it's the right thing to do. Because you feel it. Just go through it. And let that crap go. It never served you that well anyway. And none of you have been able to scrap much happiness out of it at all. Yet we're totally happy on the soul level all the time. Now ain't that crazy? Yeah, there are big changes, man. It's like, well, you know, I've been talking about this blue-green wave coming in, and with glittery gold, which is basically the healing side of life. And in an energetic sense, it keeps flowing in, and it keeps getting this expansion is a part of it. That same wave. It's a love wave. It's a wave. Shorty. No. There, that's better. He knows. He just wants to get back on my lap. But he was getting a little heavy there, weren't you, buddy? Yes, you were. I mean, he looks small, but God, this guy weighs about 30 pounds. He's a big boy. Huh? He's a big boy, ain't you? You want to come back up here? Come on. Come on. Yeah, little rascal. He just likes to show off. He's such a good boy. Take good care of your animals. You know, um, shut your mouth now. I released a couple of them this year. Babies, they're souls. When you finally see them, the wholeness of them, holy cow. And holy cow, too, you never know. It's in everything. These great souls are all around us. This is another aspect we haven't been seeing here mostly. But all around us and constantly working with us are many, many elegant old souls and life energies that are helping us get it in the right way, to get it moved in the right direction. Synchronicity exists everywhere, and yet we've designed it so we don't even notice it. It's just there. There might be a life in that door over there, that window, this dog, of course. Everything works in harmony with you to complete the cycle of service that you're in and to go through all the aspects you wanted to cover. The whole world around you works this way in your favor and benefit. When you realize this, it's far more easily to accept that flow. Again, the whole life changes. Won't be any desperation anymore because you'll be in a place it's impossible to be desperate in. You got everything you need. And the more we move in this way, the more creative we become, the less we see of the manufacturing industries, the less we see of agriculture, the less we see of monetary means, governments, regulations, things like that evaporate. And it's about time. Aren't you guys sick of it? Most people are. Done with that stuff. We don't need regulation. We need freedom so we can be decent to one another in a good sort of way, so that we can share with one another without being forced or compelled to, in any way, by guilt or by regulation, either one or any other means. Mental manipulations, whatever. Yeah. So I'm telling you, it's time. There is a very large portal opening now, into which many of you will be swept. There are going to be a few remain, because they're coming in their own way in time. Like I say, everybody has their direction, but we're all moving in the same direction. So if you see somebody you really care about spinning off in the other direction, don't you worry about it. You see a whole nation spinning off in the other direction, don't you worry about it. Send them great love. Send them healing powers. But everybody will be on the same page for you, know what happened. And no more will that stuff be happening. No more war. Not even between you and your mate. Not between anybody. No more war. Complete peace. When you got it, the world has it. Because you just shared it with it. That's how significant each human being is. It only takes one to open the gate. That's because we're all one. And if one can do it, then it's done. Kind of how it works here. Babies, I sincerely love you. It's good to be talking with you and feeling your hearts. Anybody got anything else out there they want me to address today? Pop it up here in the comments and I'll get it. Before I go and sign off here, you know. I'll give you a sec. I'm going to sip some coffee here. Take care of my little spoiled man. He seems to know when the TV's on. You know, that's when he gets noisy. Little brat. I'm going to put him over on the bed, see how he does, and grab me a cigarette. So, if you got a question, put it up on those comments. I'll get it right now. Otherwise, I'll be back in just a half minute. Yeah, won't we, kid? Yeah. Gotta do this stuff, gotta do it right. Huh? Yeah, we do, buddy. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right. You know, there is some issues here that I probably haven't dealt with that I probably should. You know, Oh, cool. Isn't it amazing how that works, Jenna? Oh, man. But anyway, now there are some people out there that for some reason seem to think that I'm obligated to give them some kind of personal assistance when they're dealing with the situation that they created themselves. And, if I feel compelled to, spiritually or whatever, I come. And I do. And I undo. And then I leave. And I don't expect you to even know that I've been there. I'm Santa Claus. I sneak in the back door and take care of things. Then it's up to you to do it. Don't expect me to sit here and mollycoddle you through a whole bunch of conversations on YouTube or Facebook or something. I don't have the time for that. Neither do you. You put an appeal to me for some help. I sent the help. Don't pull on me anymore. Pull on yourself. That's where it's happening. I'm not the answer. You are. And you can let it go anytime you want. You can be as at peace as you want to be. It's all available to you. All you got to do is open up and let it come in. That's it. The mechanics are already in place. Don't worry about it. If you want to be free, set yourself free. Get inside and just embrace that loving heart. Go past your pain. That's how they control you, is through that pain. Do you believe it? Do you really believe it? Or is it just something you're beginning to question now? Do you think you can walk through that pain? You sure as heck can. And you know what you're going to find on the other side? That's release. That's letting go. So that's what you do. I understand your neediness, but also understand I don't do that. I'm not here to lean on. I'm here to help. Kind of like a coach, kind of like an energy radiator, a transceiver. Yeah, I do all kinds of things. But that's just me, and I'm only one person out of 10 billion. So are you. Take it that way. Be respectful and responsible in yourself. Go there, do that for yourself. Because it's the thing you got to do. That's the thing you avoid. You're always trying to throw it off on somebody else. And then when they won't help you, you throw a temper tantrum and try to raise hell with them. That ain't nice. That's a spoiled little brat. Worse than a spoiled brat. Spoiled brat knows he's spoiled and appreciates it. You don't. You expect everybody else to do for you. It don't get done that way. There is a reason why we have the personal. There is a reason why we have the personality and the character to go with it. There's a reason why we go through all the formulas we go through as a person. You're just working out your individual aspect of it. Stay with it. You're doing fine, whatever it is, no matter how tormented you feel. I know you're not very now. I know I can feel it's lessened up tremendously. Just stay there in that place. Let it grow. And all any of us have to do, even him. Let it out now. I love him. Okay, is there anything else we can answer for today? Let's see. Absolutely, Kelly. Since time is an illusion, we are all here, we are all there. It's true. That's why I can speak with such confidence, because I know it's already there. I know we've already done it. So again, all I'm trying to do is help coach us through it. Bring in, through me and through you and others like you, there's this absorption coming into the reality. It's an absorption of the parallel universe. It's the expansion you're feeling. It's the consciousness you're seeing raising. It's the whole ball of wax. It's the whole enchilada. And it's happening. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. At all. Nothing anyone would want to do, because in the human consciousness, we made this choice a long time ago. And now it's a gift we're giving ourselves after all that we've been through. After all that we've been through. Lost the connection. Let's make sure I'm still broadcasting and radiating. It says I am, you betcha. So it must have been you, not me. Let me go look at the top of the page there and make sure it still says, yep. We're still streaming, so we're in good shape, baby. So that must be you. Refresh your page, it'll come back, I'm sure. You know how these YouTube things are a little screwy? Well, everything on these computers is a little screwy, bound to get a little screwier before it gets better. But we've got it, and it's a good vehicle, and so just do what I do when you encounter problems on these things, work around them. Same thing you do in life. Just work around it, baby. Until you can meet it head on and walk right through it. Work around it. You know? Don't let anything restrict or stop you. You know, I've had tremendous and difficult problems in my life, you know, but I never let any of it stop me. I just keep going, going, going. I know sometimes, you know, you hurt people's feelings and stuff. You don't mean to, you know what I mean? I'm talking past tense now, but, you know, don't be too big a critic on yourself. Just do, and then when you mess up, you know, do your best to fess up, make it as right as you can, and get on. Don't fiddle with it. We don't have time for that. Just be the love that you are. Just do what you do because you're doing it from this standpoint. Start to recognize the heart in everything that you do. And your life, again, becomes a far simpler place to be. And I don't care who you are, what you're infected with, or who you think you were in the past. It's the same for you as it is anybody else. You're no different than any other human being on earth. Not one speck different in this regard. Everybody has the same opportunity here. Everybody is working on it together. Period. No matter what it looks like in this surface world. You know, and there's times I want to turn around and slug people in my life. I've never done it, but there's times I wanted to, man. Just because they can be so darn rude, you know what I mean? It can be such a drudgery here, but don't let that get to you. You know, don't let the coldness get to you. You know, if you're dealing with a cold person right now that's trying to take everything from you, whatever, give them that love. You don't have to go give them a hug or nothing. Just give them that love from inside. Just say, and may this work out for the higher good of all. And babies, it will. You are that powerful already at this stage of the game. I don't care who you are. You can be 3 years old. This will still work. In fact, especially for a 3-year-old, because they're innocent enough to know. Still. Okay. Yeah, we all flawed, baby. We all flawed. But nobody really is. We have our flaws, and they're tools for learning engagement. I mean, that's all they are. If we were really this flawed, creation would not exist. And it does. So therefore, it must not be as flawed as we think we are. These are just experiences, again, recipes we've chosen for ourselves. Acceptance, that's the key. Somebody just popped it up on my little screen here. That is the key. Acceptance. What that means is to be comfortable in yourself no matter what's happened. Or no matter who you are or how you've turned out, whatever. You know what I mean? Is just to learn to be comfortable in yourself. And when you're there, all your relationship problems dissolve. You don't even need one anymore. If you go into one, it's out of a totally and completely different space and attitude. That's one of the most basic changes we're making here on this earth. You know, we've legitimized and promoted a whole deadly scene in relationship. You know, it's been a dead end for most people from the word go. Once in a while, some bright lights will be able to do it as a couple, but for the most part, it's been really stupid and dumb. And a trap, a dead end, death, death, death. Love yourselves to death, and that's exactly what you do. You even pledge to die when you get married, man. I mean, it's really crazy, you know? So expect a lot of changes in this area. We won't be coming together from need any longer because we'll be fulfilled inside. And when you're fulfilled inside, you're not reaching out to other people to fill you, obviously, you know. Then you can have a decent relationship, you know, maybe with the whole damn universe, the whole blessed universe, because it ain't damned anymore. It never really was. But you could have a relationship with the whole universe. You know what I mean? It's a whole different level. You know, it's not so mechanical, but it's beautiful. But it's sharing. That's what it is. And it's sharing because you love enough to share. You have no needs. You have no wants or desires. Everything is filled. You are full and complete as a person. Then why would you even choose to join with another? Except as a furtherance of the expansion of love. Now I'll leave you guys to think about that and dream about that. We're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight on the radio if you happen to be up late. If not, maybe I'll tape a little bit of it and put it up here. Who knows? But that's the deal, guys. This is where it happens. This is how it happens. Let it happen for you. It's all coming true. Grandpa promises. Yeah. And I was married for 30 years in my first marriage, baby. You got nothing to brag about. And it was an open relationship for 28 of those, man. Figure that one out, huh? How did we ever get divorced? We didn't need to, but we did, shit. It's crazy stuff, how life goes. But we treat ourselves so spectacularly well. And we're so spoiled we don't even see it. We've given ourselves so many opportunities in this life and so much love from all kinds. And we designed this life, remember, from all kinds of angles and aspects. Shoot. Guys, let go of the fairy tale and misery and get on with rocking and rolling and living. Appreciate what you got. But you can do this, babies. Just when your mind starts going to those past places where there's been traps for you. Let it go there. Go there with it, with the heart open. And you'll change your opinion about what happened greatly. And you'll release it, let it go, and we'll all be ascending together. So that's the magic formula. Economy. We don't need economy. Economy is a lie, a farce. We'll address this one again sometimes too. But trade, money, values, these are part of the essential lies we deal with in living here. The very idea that somebody has to, quote, quote, go to work to earn, quote, quote, money to, quote, quote, pay bills, to buy the house, to buy the car, to get back to work, to raise the family so they can go to... That is slavery, babies. Big time. It's part of the marriage trap I was talking about. That's an extension of it. It's all a big farce. Our natural inclination as we grow in consciousness is to share what we're best at sharing with others, and others the same way. There's a whole hierarchy, natural, just like you see in nature, that falls into place as the human being gains its consciousness. Armies disband, governments disband, economies, we might make some little hairball in between things. They're talking about revamping the global economy. That sounds to me like a banker's last-ditch effort to maintain control. That's what that sounds like to me, and I say to hell with that kind of stuff. We don't need it. Go on with what we got till it wears out and throw it away. Let's get, this economy here is healthy enough as it is. The only thing that would make it better is if people actually started to care for one another, which I see them doing. And as this happens, well, the very ideas that we've based our economies on all die almost an immediate death. There can't be profit before care. I mean, nothing comes before care. Care is the primary thing. If you manufacture a product or perform a service in this reality or employ others to do it, you'll be doing it from a caring standpoint to fulfill an obvious need. But again, as we gain in consciousness, these kind of needs disappear. The needs for food, the needs for shelter, the needs for clothing, and so on and so forth. The basic needs that we see now that we have to go to work for evaporate because we're creative beings and we can create anything we want at any time we want. And we do. And we create circumstance for ourselves. I love this little spaceship I've got here to broadcast from. It's fun. It's a great little cabin. And it just came to me because the universe wanted me to have it. I'd seen it a couple of years before that, but it just wasn't time, But when the time was right, wham, here it came, And it came to me through some awful circumstances, yet it was the act of kindness by which it came to me. And that, there's poetry in every moment of our life, in every moment that we're living. Poetry, synchronicity, harmony. And all you got to do is slow down enough to start looking around, and you'll see yourself appreciating it. You'll start to discover it again, because you lost it when you were a little kid, long time ago. They beat it out of you, probably. If they didn't beat it out of you, they screamed it out of you, but some way or another, they got it out of you. But you're getting it back, babies, you know. It's part of the plan. And it's about darn time, too, because we have been so indecent. I mean, oh, God. Especially in the cities, guys. You know, but don't hate yourselves. I mean, I'm not putting you down. I just say it's been a very harsh reality. I'm glad it was you. I was harsh enough where I grew up. I don't know if I could have stood a city like that. That's too darn cold for me. Too much like a deep freeze, man, you know. Shoot. Well, I love you guys. And, 3D printing. That's just another gimmick of technology. But it's an indication of where we're going with this. We are a 3D printer. And then some. Each one of us. We have complete manifestation capabilities in this reality. Now, you know, I say this still just gaining the conception of it myself. I mean, I've known about it, but now I'm getting the conception. As part of this coming back to life I've been telling you about. I'm gaining the conception of it. So then my mind and consciousness can willingly accept that now. And therefore, these means can be employed as time goes by and we gain in our conscious love. So that'll take care of 3D printers and all of industry and technology. We're moving to a point where that no longer is necessary. It never really was, but it was a step we had to take to get ourselves out of the dark ages and into the light. So that's what we did. As a human consciousness, together, all of us. The flow of history is not dictated by the Illuminati or anybody else like that. It's dictated by the human consciousness. The flow that comes from the human heart, the singular heart in everybody, the collective. That's where it comes from. Okay? Oh, babies. Okay. Well, I don't see anything else out there. Oh, babies. Never worry about it. I've been without a partner for a while. When I had one, it was like not as together as it should have been. To be nice. And, you know, I learned from that experience that it really wasn't quite as necessary as I thought it was. You know, intimacy's sweet when it comes along, but it's not something I'm going out of my way looking for. It's something that has to come in just the right way and just the right time and with just the right energy. I will never again step into those, well, I think it's right places. Just because I'm feeling lonely or horny or whatever. I don't have those feelings now like I used to. Nothing like I used to, which is good. And I imagine all of us will be calming down greatly in that area because we've been highly overamped in those areas for the most part, intimacy, sexuality, but we've also been like totally misled. So most of us, not all of us, thank God, but most of us miss the connection. It doesn't do us much good. You know, and you think making love for hours and hours and days is a great thing, and it can be, but it isn't necessary. Intimacy is more about connection, consciousness, being able to experience one another and appreciate it right down to the submolecular. You know, it's a whole different way of being. When I'm talking about making love, most of you wouldn't have a clue about what I'm talking about. Some of them here now, we're a pretty bright bunch, would, but most people out there would not have a clue about what I was talking about. It's become such a mechanical and absurd thing, you know. But there's plenty there still. And we'll be going there, but in much different ways. Like I say, the whole relationship thing has been such a farce, it has to fall apart in order to be put back together again. So I don't care if you've been married 150 years, you know, don't expect it to last, but it might. You know, there are those that will and get through it, but mostly it's not happening. Mostly we'll go our own way because that's what we need to do as a part of the planet. And if we've really been dependent on one another, boy, that's going to blow back on you. But still, as the consciousness rises, those that are in those dependent states won't be clinging to it anymore. It'll be gone. And we'll be at peace. So it'll still be an easier transition. Day to day here. Watch this week. Day to day. Increase every day, every day, every day. Every moment that you are alive, it's going to increase a little bit more. That's just how it's working now. You know? Okay, guys, my dogs are going to start acting up. The neighbors are home, so I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next time here on the good old Peter Coyote channel, Grandpa Peter Coyote channel, here on YouTube. And tune me in tonight on the Hayz Radio Network, HEYZRADIO.com. I'm there at midnight to 5 a.m. with the Coyote Medicine Show, guys. So thanks again. I love you, and these are hard connections, and we're going to keep them going no matter what. Thanks again, guys. Keep it rocking, babies.